ground, anointed with perfume, bestrewn with flowers. The Mount Meru in the middle, the four great lands, and the sun and the moon. We offer in visualization this inner space of our hearts and our minds. May all sentient beings be able to enjoy this pure land. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Niyataya. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, good. You're responsive. Sorry, I'm a little bit get caught a cold. Still not recovered, so I'll be sniffling away. So today, why don't you sit in front? Then there's no ghost there.
Move forward.
Huh?
I can't.
Don't worry. Most of the time, you people now doing this. Now it is time to do this. You know. So today, I'm going to give a short talk about something that is supposed to be very philosophical, but actually it's not. This 7-point mind training, you understand English? Yeah? You understand English, yeah? You understand my broken English?
Yes.
Oh, if you can understand my broken English, there's no problem that I can talk in a Indian accented English. Okay. So, so today I'm going to talk about the root text of the 7-point mind training. To cut the long story short, the entire essence of the Buddha's teaching is about mind training, nothing else. The long story short. Most people would think about Buddha as a god, and then you come and make offerings to Buddha, and so that to get favors out of him. I'm sorry, then you should go elsewhere, because definitely you will not be able to get your wishes fulfilled. Praying to Buddha is wrong. We don't pray to Buddha. We offer obeisance and we pray. We use the word pray. But in actual fact, pray has got something to do with the term worship, right? Hello? You understand? Yes. Okay. Because some of you give me that look. So I don't know whether you understood me or not. So, worshipping means to worship somebody who is inherently real, somebody who is real. For example, that would mean somebody who is God. And God is real. And so God created things, God created the world, God created you. And so we have to pray to God, worship God, so that He may shower favor upon us. Now, in Buddhism, this was exactly what the Buddha did not want us to be. Okay? Why did we have a holy statue of Buddha? In fact, you see right there in the thing in the middle is covered in glass, which I am definitely going to do some changes to it. Inside there are the holy relic of the Buddha himself. Okay? So, because it's so far deep inside and this and that, so cannot be seen, this time I brought something else. So I think in the whole of maybe this part of America, this is the only temple with the relic of the Lord Buddha. Okay? And and we are not worshipping the Buddha because there's nothing to worship. He's not real. Okay? In the ultimate sense, he's not real. Now, what does it mean by the Buddha is not real? Since if the Buddha is not real, what are we doing here? So that's the main thing. So this is the essence of today's, one of the main essence of today's teaching. Who are we? What are we? Why are we here? For goodness sake or gooseness sake, I always say it. Okay? So we are here because we need to recognize that we are not real. Can you tell me if you are real now? Can any one of you tell me? Think about it seriously. Are you real now?
No. No.
Okay? Why are you not real? So before, this 7-point mind training, frankly speaking, it's long. And if I were to give the transmission and teach it, it would take more than 3 months of every night. So today is just a quick glance on it. Okay? So what I'm gonna tell you why you are not real. In a very short and sharp method. It's because your mind is changing all the time. If your mind is changing all the time, how can you be real? You are learning new things. You are losing memory. You are getting older, not getting younger. If you were real, you would be solid as a rock. Right? But even the rock is not real. Nothing is real. The natural shape, look, density of the rock can be changed by our mind. Whatever our mind thinks of it, we can do something to it. So therefore, even the rock is not real. Outer form of the rock seems solid, but it is elusive. So all of us are not real, including you, including me, including the Buddha. And that is the real reason why Buddha came and spent 45 years of his life, human life, to teach us not to take our life too freaking seriously. Most of the time we are too engrossed in what we want to do or what we can do. Okay? Which means most of the time we are way too goal-orientated, and that we have forgotten how to enjoy the journey. Or sometimes we feel you are supposed to do this, you are supposed to do that. I can help you, I will help you, and this and that. But you didn't listen, you didn't listen, you didn't follow my instructions and this and that. For example, if you are a parent, and your child is supposed to be doing this, your child is supposed to be doing that, but your child didn't do. Or you are expecting the child to do so that you may have this, you may have that, but the child didn't follow the instruction, this and that, and you get upset. You got upset. So using this classical example, we have to few steps back to think about how upset do we really want to continue to be? Right? So this is real practical Buddhism. In this aspect, this is the essence of today's teaching. This is the essence of today's teaching. So I don't want to talk so much. I can be very scholarly and teach by the book, but the reason why I'm not doing that is because I usually don't like to do that is because all the lamas are already teaching from the book. I'd rather be a teacher that connect with you than to teach you from the book, because you can read from the book yourself. Okay? So I'm going to just go through, touch on the 7-point mind training. Okay, so basically this 7-point mind training is focused on the Mahayana teaching. Okay, in Mandarin that's called 大乘佛法. So what is Mahayana teaching? Mahayana teaching comprises of benefiting all. Whether you are, so the Mahayana teaching encompasses the Theravada teachings. Okay? So there is no such thing within Mahayana to say that you are Theravada or you are Hinayana and I am Mahayana. So there's no such thing in the Mahayana teaching. Okay? 大乘里面没有分小乘，因为大已经有小在里面。Okay? So so one of the main things about many people not understanding what the teaching of Buddha is, they say that there are different schools of Buddha's teaching, this and that. There are no different, in reality there are no different schools, only different cultures. Buddha's teaching I can say that it started off like elementary school, high school, and then college, and then university, something like that. Okay, so this belongs to the college aspect of, or the university aspect of Buddhism, in one of the main teaching within there. Right? So within the first point of the mind training, the first one says preliminaries as a basis for Dhamma practice. First train in the preliminaries. What are the preliminaries? The preliminaries are to focus on, to understand and to focus upon who really Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha is. So we have to take refuge. Okay, so we do the refuge practices. And after the refuge practices, it will be the prostration to humble ourselves and stuff like that. Okay, so we have to train in the preliminary practices. The reason to understand ourselves and to humble ourselves. We have been too proud for too long. And we do not know frankly speaking, many of us do not know what we are proud of. But we are just proud. We just have pride, but what are you proud of? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? We are proud, but we do not know what we can be proud of. We have pride, we have ego, and thus we just suffer. We suffer for the sake of face, name, ego, pride. So the main practice is training in bodhicitta. So the first, I'm going to jump because you wouldn't know much about ultimate bodhicitta first, so I'm just going to talk about the relative. So there are two kinds of bodhicitta, Mandarin called Putising. Okay. So many people say they want to have a bodhicitta, or they want to generate bodhicitta, and they say, they have the bodhicitta vows or the bodhisattva vows, and they think that just by reciting, say, I take the bodhisattva vows, and they recite Heart Sutra, and then they have the bodhisattva vows. I'm sorry, that's not the way it is. The bodhisattva vows and the bodhicitta can only exist when you have tasted and realized what pain and suffering is. However, that does not mean that we all have to go through some kind of pain and catastrophe in our lives to be able to have bodhicitta. All we need is to have awareness, to generate deep awareness about who we are, what we are, and it is the same for who everybody is and what everybody is. So, so first about the bodhicitta, there's the ultimate bodhicitta. So I'll just touch on the ultimate bodhicitta. Number one is to regard all phenomena as dreams. So what is phenomena? Basically, to regard everything that you see, think, hear, dream, live your life as a dream. Okay? If you cannot train your mind to see everything now as a dream, then you will be too attached to everything. Everything that you have, everything that exists in your life becomes so real and so painful. And given our bad habits, we would definitely remember the suffering than happiness, right? Can you remember all the bad things that happened to you since you were young? Can you? Right? Can you remember all the good things that happened to you when you were young, since you were young? Somehow it doesn't scar you as deep. Right? Suffering scars you. Right? Suffering scars you. Like for example, if you have a cut and then you get and it recovers, you have a scar. Suffering scars you, so we have the tendency and the habit to remember suffering. Okay? So we have to train to regard everything as a dream. Okay? So next one is to investigate the nature of unborn awareness. Okay? So this part is this. We investigate the nature of everything. Look at the sky, look at this, look at the space in front of us. We have been breathing air. Right? We have been breathing air. We have been totally taking, taking advantage of air without appreciating air. And yet it's something that we cannot live without, but will suffer when we are going to die, and then suddenly we are gasping for air. Okay? So we have to look at the nature of air. Just try to not gaze at anything, but just to relax our eyes and to feel air. The nature of unborn awareness. So we have this, we have lost this awareness. Okay, we have lost this awareness because we need so much of external stimulation. We need to look at this, we need to look at this, we need to look at everything. But actually, right now we have to train in the unborn awareness of all phenomena. Every single thing. Look at a rock. Okay? What does it have? It does not have true nature. So look at nature. So everything momentarily evolving, momentarily changing. What are the best way? Look at your own old photographs. If you can, you should take a photograph of yourself every month. Okay? Take the same photograph of yourself every month, and then you make a book like you can buy a stamp album. I think nobody collects stamps anymore. Okay? You should buy and then you print it out and make a marking and look at it. Look at it and feel, what were we thinking then? What were we doing then? What are we thinking now? What are we doing now? Okay? So we may think about, okay, now this is the antidote. The antidote to all ignorance, the antidote to all suffering is this, to have this awareness. So next one is, even the antidote we need to release to the ground. Because if not, we'll be swinging from an extreme to another extreme. Okay? So that's why somebody said, oh, Ramajay, people come to teaching Choling for you. People come to listen to your teachings. Okay? I appreciate that, but sorry, I wouldn't like that too. I prefer you would want to come and share and learn more about Dharma for yourself, for your own happiness, not chasing after happiness. for your own awareness. That is important. Okay? Because nobody wants, it's like, one thing it's like when I look at the news, everybody says that, oh, they want to know the truth of this, the truth of that, right? And maybe they say that the media is not telling the truth and this and that. So it's the same. Why don't you find out the truth about yourself? Why don't you tell the truth for yourself? Why don't you find out the truth of your own existence and stop relying on what other people tell you? So you've got to come and awaken the truth and the knowledge for yourself. This is very, very important. Okay? Next point is to rest within all bases, the essential nature. Okay? Rest within the all bases, the essential nature. So basically we should always not to go out, but when we need to do something, we do. But when we have completed whatever we have to do, we can relax and keep the mind back, take the mind back from whatever we were doing and stop the mental wandering, rest the mind into its natural state of peace like air. Okay? Some call pure presence, some call the natural state. Okay? What is your essential nature? Try to remember the time when you were a child, where you did not have concepts, but everybody told you, it has to be like this, it has to be like that. Why? Just has to be. Because it has to be, right? Hello?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay? Everybody went through this. Even you, even me. When we ask questions, because it has to be. Because it was always like that. So, because if something was always like that, doesn't mean that it has to continue to be like that. Okay, so this is very important. We need to make our own decisions on how we want things to be. Okay? In post-meditation, regard all beings as illusions. So over here, whether we are meditating or not, or whether we have completed our meditation, we should use our mind, our human mind, a capable human mind, because we are humans now. I always say, humans, if we don't have intelligence and we don't want to think, just want to let our life go by, we are just talking animals. Right? Okay? The difference between human being and animal, human being can reflect, can think, can feel. Animals wouldn't reflect. They react. They react. Okay, so what we need to do is to stop reacting. Stop. Okay, and start reflecting. This is very important. Stop reacting and start reflecting. Most of us, we just react. 做什么事情是有反应而已. Okay, so this is not correct, because a tit for a tat, this will never end. Never, never, ever end. So next one, about the relative bodhicitta. Okay, the practice is, alternately practice sending and taking. These two should ride the breath. So, sending and taking, so when you breathe in, so how do we know that we are illusions? Okay? So we have to create an illusionary practice. Okay? So let's relax now, relax your eyelid, and let's do something illusionary now. I want you to breathe in black smoke. Okay? Breathe in darkness. All the darkness, all the black magic, all the curses, all the everything that you can believe, all the sickness, all the cancer. Now you breathe in into your heart. And breathe out your goodness. All your goodness, you give all your goodness. And breathe in all the cancer, all the sickness and everything. Now, look at me now. Okay. Were you afraid to breathe in darkness? Were you afraid to breathe in darkness? No. How many of you were afraid to breathe in darkness? No, I'm serious. Come. Okay. Good. Thank you for being honest. Breathing in darkness was just a freaking illusion. But you were afraid of your own mind. You were afraid of your own mind. Now do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? This is an illusion, so we have to train our bravery. We have to train our heart to be big. You breathe in, just think about Syracuse, many hospitals, all the sickness, all the cancer, all the tumors, all you breathe. And when you breathe out, all your goodness, all your kindness, all your love, you breathe out to them. All the good health, you breathe out to them. But you take in all the darkness and breathe out all the goodness. It's just an illusion. Will it help? It will help you because you are taking in the darkness, but it is an illusion. Similarly, giving out all your goodness and your good health is also an illusion. The main thing now is it helps to rearrange something in our hearts and our minds. Okay? Because we have to face the real fear. What if I do this for long enough and I really get cancer? I really get leukemia. I really get this, I really get that. And then we talk about, I want to pray to a real Buddha so that Buddha can take away all my problems. Can Buddha take away your problems? Or are you really thinking about wanting to throw your problems at some other god? Okay, so it's the same thing. Why can the Buddha or any of the Bodhisattvas take in your suffering? Take your suffering away from you, and you want their goodness, you want their blessings. But you cannot do the same. Do you understand now? You understand?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I got some reaction because I thought some of you are falling asleep. Maybe it's getting too warm. You want to make the aircon, make it colder? Huh? Is it too warm?
No.
No?
No.
Or we can open the front and back door so the breeze would come in and wake everybody up. Yeah? So that's the thing, riding the breath. We must practice of breathing in all the darkness, all the sickness, all the pain of other people. And then you breathe out all the lightness, all the sunlight, all the sunshine and everything. Okay? And what happens? You have your own fear and you are breathing in all the darkness. When these two come together, what happens? When you complete this meditation, you just feel that there's a giant explosion, nuclear bomb explosion, destroying the darkness of others and destroying the darkness of yourself. You understand? Ultimately, there's no explosion. But it does something very special for our mind. What did it do? What will it do? It makes our heart bigger. So this is something really very important. Okay? We will not get other people's cancer. Okay? Somebody asked me to prove it. Prove that meditating like that I will not get it. I said, okay. I asked him, are you hungry now? He said, yes. Okay, now I sit down and meditate. I take away your hunger. And I give you all the food I have in my stomach. All my fats. I give you my fats. You know? I give you my body fat and you give me all your hunger. So I say, I meditate now. Can you feel it? No. He said, no. Let's try again. I'm breathing in all your pain and your suffering and the pimples on your face. And I'm giving you my fats. I'm giving you desserts. I'm giving you burgers and everything. Can you taste them? He said, no. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? So this, even though it is an illusion, because we hold ourselves to be so true, we suffer. So we need to use illusion to conquer the illusion that we have in our hearts. The fear we have in our hearts is also itself an illusion. Do you understand?
Yes.
Right? So we say, kill desire by methods of desire. Kill fear by methods of fear. So this is a method of killing. We use the word kill, or destroying fear by methods of fear. Taking in the suffering of all other people, and then you give the goodness to them. Does it really happen? No. But your heart starts to, there's something very special starts to evolve deep inside. You feel it now? Okay? So this is the Tonglen practice that traditionally people talk about. Breathing in darkness, giving out goodness, breathing in darkness, and then when you complete, when you feel that enough, okay, then if you when it comes in, then there's a bright explosion, and when that explosion happens, even every single atom of you explodes, and you become the nature of the sky, the nature of space. You are everywhere. Right? I can say this one, I can also say one thing like that. I am in you now. Did you know that? I am in you now. Why? Because you are breathing the air that I breathed out. And then you go, oh. You see? So I'm in you now, and you are in me now. We are all interconnected. Right? But just the thought of it scares people. Just that the thought of it scares people. So what is the essence of Buddha Dharma? Being brave. Okay? Face the real nature of our mind and being brave to overcome our innermost fears. So one of the practices are, or when we are braver enough, we go and take a walk in the cemetery at night. Yeah, we go take a walk in the cemetery at night. We're going to do some meditation and do some prayers in the cemetery. Not just to overcome our fears, but also to do prayers for those beings who suffered so much when they were alive, and after they died, they still held on to their suffering, so they became ghosts. All right? So, so the three objects, the three poisons, and the three roots of virtue. Okay, the relative bodhicitta. So basically, yeah, friends, enemies, and strangers, you do the same method. Okay? Greed, anger, ignorance, also the same method, just breathing in and breathing out. Okay? And then the three roots of virtue, okay, by doing the practices, the virtuous practices. Yeah. I don't want to touch on so much on that because you can actually, frankly speaking, just go Google upon and the answer comes. Okay? Just using this method to overcome everything. Overcome all your fears, overcome the mind that you feel that you are real. You are not real. What is frightening is that when we believe that we are real, you are not. Okay? So, when you look at the reflection of the water, is that you? When you look at the reflection on water, is that you? Huh?
No.
Can you recognize the reflection?
Yes.
Huh? What is that? Who and what is that reflection of?
Illusion.
Huh?
Illusion.
Sorry?
Illusion.
Illusion? But what are you recognizing?
You think it's yourself.
But I said a reflection, I didn't say a reflection of yourself.
The light.
Huh?
Light.
Light? Whatever you recognize in the illusion is what you have in your mind. You gave it your name, you gave it a form, you gave it a belief, and you gave it its capability. Correct?
Yes.
Right? It's like whenever you're watching a television program or you look at the screen, oh gosh, there's a reflection of me, that thing stole my spirit. You know? Yeah. That's what the early people said, you know, don't let other people take a photograph of you because your image goes into that thing, and then so your luck goes down. Yeah, this what early people believed. Early Asian people believed that. And then I thought it was pretty funny, but I just played along with it. Oh yeah, yes. Okay? So in all your activities, train with these words. So I already gave you a lot of words. Okay? When there are good times and bad times, like today I was waiting, I spent the whole day waiting. Some people will complain, oh, this whole day, oh, this, you have to call them, oh, they have to this, they're so late, oh, that. Complaining doesn't help. Doing something else does. Right? Maximizing whatever situation that you are in is what is beneficial for our mind. And that is the most important aspect of Buddha's teaching. It's about how we are able to rearrange our mind for whatever the situation, whether good or bad. Its bad situation may not be that bad after all, because the bad situation are opportunities for us to train our mind. All the time having good and happy situations may not necessarily be good, because when things are good, you take everything. We all take everything for granted, right? Right? When things are good, we all take everything for granted. Yeah. So this is something that we all need to reflect upon. Stop reacting, start reflecting. Okay? If not, our life is just going to be wasted. We are just going to go with the flow. You know, some people say just don't think too much, just go with the flow. Right? Some of my Taoist friends, I have some Taoist friends, they say, oh, everything is according to the law of nature, just go in the flow. 道法自然. Okay? So I say, yes, everything goes with the flow. So if you want to eat, you eat. You want to sleep, you sleep. Then I said, then what then is the essence of the practice? They said, follow nature. So I said, that's precisely what my guru told me, to realize the nature rather than to follow the nature. Okay? So we, as Buddhists, our main purpose is to realize external nature, internal nature, and the most important, they are all illusions. Okay? Then we can be awakened. Then we can awake and have deep-seated realizations. So begin the sequence of sending and taking with yourself. So we already done that, right? So instantaneous receiving of cancer and sickness and leukemia and curses and maybe skin disease and STDs and drugs, effect of drugs, and all these things is going to come to you tonight. You know, when you sleep, tomorrow you wake up, you're gonna have rabies, you're gonna this because you've done this practice. Okay, just all these things are really just an illusion. Okay, so don't believe in such things. Don't believe in that. No, just by doing this you will get this. Just by visualizing this and you're going to get all the problems. No. visualizing all these problems coming in, taking them in, helps us to know how to deal with them. Okay, because even though we may not have such a problem, we may not have, let's not use the word problem, that we may not have such a situation, but when that situation really comes, you are prepared. And that is the essence of Buddha's teaching too. Be prepared. Because if we are not prepared for anything that may come, will come, okay, one thing's for sure, we are going to lose everything and die. We are definitely going to lose everything and die. What are we going to do about that? How are we going to deal with that? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that now. So, next point. Excuse me. So when the world is filled with negativity, transform adverse conditions onto the path of awakening. I already taught that, right? I already spoke about that. Anything that is bad, anything that is bad, take it as the path. Anything that is bad, take it as an illusion. How to train, how to this, how to that. Okay? Relative bodhicitta, this point number 12 says, drive all blame into one. Here means oneself. Okay? Here does not mean that you should become low self-esteem. Somebody made a wrong interpretation that, oh, whatever happens, oh, I'm sorry, is because of me. Oh, I'm sorry, oh, everything, oh, you suffer because of me, and this and that, all because of me. This is wrong. What does this really mean? This really means that whatever happens, the situation with self and others, is because there was some previous cause with you and others. There have been you can try this, because it has been tried and tested. Somebody put photographs of, school teacher put photographs of his classmates, of his students who were very problematic children. And I advise that the teacher look at their photographs and first, before that he said, and send love, right? And the teacher was like, and send love, right? I said, no, before you send love, you have to say something. You have to say, feel that you are telling this person, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Then you send love. Okay? After a few weeks, that child softened and the situation started to change. Now, some of you may not believe, and maybe you think that, oh, it's funny and this and that, but why is that child only behaving badly to you or in your class? Okay? Or in another aspect of explanation, everything that you see is based on your own interpretation. Everything that happens is based on your own interpretation. It may not necessarily be the truth, but it is your truth. When somebody says, I'm speaking the truth, then you go, wow, he's speaking the truth. If he's speaking the truth, that person may be lying. Must be lying. Okay? But, hey, wait a minute, no? He's speaking his truth, and he's also speaking his truth, and she's speaking her truth. So whose truth? Everybody got their own truth. Everybody got their own experience. So stop believing in somebody's truth. We don't need to believe in anybody's truth. This is something that is very important. So when it says, drive all blame into one, that means everything that happens, you blame it on because of our own experience. Okay? But not low self-esteem. Not low self-esteem. Dharma practice is not about making yourself to have low self-esteem. Low confidence, no. But making ourselves humble, okay? Making ourselves humble, and to blame that whatever happens, whatever problems and everything that happened is because we viewed it as problem. Why is it a problem only to you and not somebody else? Do you understand? If it was naturally a problem, so we just think about, you think about something. Let's think about the sun. You love the sun here?
Yes.
Yeah. But in the desert, would they love the sun?
Nope.
You see? The sun. Something so natural and neutral. According to our own needs, geographical background and stuff like that, everybody already have different viewpoint, different needs and stuff like that. And therefore, we start to judge. We start to label, we start to blame, we start to justify, and we start all the blah blah blahs, etc., etc. Right? Okay? So, whatever happens, this and that, is because you believed it to be. You believed it to be. You felt compelled that it has to be like that. Or it must be like that. Therefore, that's your truth. May not necessarily be the actual truth. So that's why Lord Buddha, when he taught the Dharma, nobody could defeat him because he was teaching the universal truth. Okay, Lord Buddha was teaching the universal truth. What is the universal truth? And that is the truth that you have to awaken to it yourself. But he led us step by step towards awakening. Whose awakening? Your awakening. Your experience. Religion is about believing in somebody else's experience. Okay, so you say, oh, pray to this, pray to that, and we always need to get somebody else's some people like share their story about their spiritual experience and how God has helped them, or what do you call that? What's the English word? Testimony. Okay? Yeah. So believing in testimony and then you get that faith is truly religion, because that is somebody else's experience, not your. But if you didn't have your own experience, then you don't have your own spirituality. Okay? So you need to realize your own truth. You need to realize your own truth. And that is the only way you can truly be satisfied. For example, yesterday, Mike was having a meeting with me. And what happened when he went home, 12 midnight, his wife asked him, where did you go? He said he had a board meeting. Board meetings don't end at 12 midnight. Tell me the truth. Where did you go? Right? Tell me the truth. Where did you go? Right?
That's privacy.
Is that a privacy thing? To me, that's a joke. That's sharing. Come on. If it's the privacy thing, that's your problem. It's your problem because it reached my ears. Okay? Yeah. Okay, you can't see, this thing has privacy, this privacy thing, Yeah. Okay? So, this is what I'm telling, this is what I'm sharing. Somebody have their own belief that if it is like this and it is like this, equals to like this. So this is dangerous. Next point, be grateful to everyone and everything. Okay? If we are not grateful to